זהו, צרפת נפלה סופית.
France is finished, as for 2 nights straight their police discovered they're no match for weaponized unemployed behavior, as a horde of so-called soccer fans took over the city and draped another country's flag on the Joan of Arc, then began burning and looting local stores. But it wasn't just stores, but a random woman caught in the middle as well.
לא נורמלי, תוקפים בחורה בתוך אוטו. ב-2015 בצרפת היו 5 מיליון מוסלמים. היום, 10 שנים אחרי, יש שם בסביבות 10 מיליון. בהצלחה מקרון. מקרון הרי באדם, הוא הרס את צרפת.
I was reluctant to call them savages until they started making this sound. And this wasn't the only vehicle the mob destroyed, as the rims on this vehicle are different. As today should have been about how Paris Saint-Germain came in for their victory parade, with huge groups of fans eager to greet them, but also pounding on the police vehicles. All just to catch a couple seconds of the players holding the trophy. Now I think pounding on the police cars is stupid in itself, but it was probably the mildest part about this, as PSG fans stood idly by while this guy tries to tear down a stoplight, while masked individuals try to tear down the police barricades.
שוב אני חייב לעצור ולהגיד, מקרון, מה שביקשת, קיבלת. תמשיך לתמוך בברברים.
As the fans then jumped the gates. Then it turned into a full-blown riot before the sun went down, again attacking random cars. So then their riot police deployed massive amounts of tear gas. Charging at the mobs to get them off the streets.
חבר'ה, אני שנייה רוצה להגיד למי שלא יודע, אחרי משחק גמר גביע פריז סן-ז'רמן שהם ניצחו, האוהדים שלהם הלכו להרוס רחובות ולעשות בלגן, מה שאתם רואים פה, מנפצים חנויות, מנפצים רכבים.
With a huge standoff between French riot police and rioters carrying flags not from France or even represent...
ראיתם? יש להם דגלים של פלסטין. זה מאיפה האנשים האלה הגיעו. הם הגיעו מכל מיני ארצות מוסלמיות דיקטטוריות. והם באו לצרפת והם מחרבנים על צרפת. ומקרון גם מחרבן על צרפת. זה מה שקיבלתם.
Sending the soccer team. I think that's my biggest issue with the situation, as this keeps being framed as the French erupting in celebrations over a soccer match, when in reality it's the same political unrest we see in America with nothing new other than a different excuse. Now, although it did seem like they got things under control, as soon as the sun went down, the streets looked just like the night before. As the hordes in black masks and Gucci hats decide to destroy some bus stops. He really came out with his Gucci hat and purse, only to get defeated by a small pane of glass, which goes to show these guys shouldn't be that hard to stop, especially as they dangerously throw the steel barricades off a bridge. Eventually blocking the entire street. as this accomplishes nothing but anarchy. So the other element of their riot can begin.
זה מה שיקרה לכל הארצות שיכניסו מוסלמים לארץ שלהם. אידיאולוגיה אסלאמית, זה מה שאתם רואים עכשיו.
Looting stores again. Leaving behind millions of dollars worth of destruction. This all could have been avoided if right after they started to riot, yesterday, before the sun even went down, they just did mass arrests, announcing multiple year sentences or immediate deportations of non-citizens. That sounds incredibly harsh, but it's better than the alternative of 2 dead during PSG win celebrations, or how they phrase the deaths from a PSG Champions League win, as only the Canadians headlined how 1 cop is now in a coma, and only the Daily Mail clearly reporting that this wasn't a celebration, but a riot. As of course I blame the idiots out there for rioting, but I also blame the city's leadership for allowing the rioters to destroy the city, as just because the news is ignoring this, doesn't mean the citizens can. Why doom scroll on social media all day when you have my concise, light-order commentary on the tragic status that is today's reality? So subscribe to Decoy Voice.
Talk to you about the scenes out of Paris this weekend, where 2 people were killed, hundreds of people were injured during what was supposed to be a nationwide celebration in Paris following PSG's victory in the Champions League final. This is what unfolded. Now, that is not the type of chaos that you would ever typically see during a football celebration. Now, it's being suggested that this comes as France faces significant challenges with immigration. There are also reports and vision of the riots where people are waving the Palestinian flag and chanting F Israel, other anti-Semitic language, as cars were firebombed. Really disturbing to see. What do you make of all of this?
Well, first and foremost, let's correct one thing that the media has not been getting accurate. They say that this riot or this violence was a direct result of this PGS, whatever it is, championship soccer tournament. But it's really not, because it actually started 2 hours earlier at the Champs-Élysées. Did I pronounce that correctly? I don't know French too much.
סבבה, זה לא קשור לניצחון, זה קשור לברבריות. אוהדים ברברים לפני ניצחון ואחרי ניצחון זה אותו דבר.
But hopefully I did okay on that one. But it started about 2 hours beforehand. There was reports of violence and rioting 2 hours beforehand. And then, of course, it got really, really bad during the match and then after the match. And then, of course, into Saturday night, late into Sunday. And it's just unbelievable. You know, you have to look at the root cause here. And I think the root cause, honestly, was, again, a lot of these people, a lot of these foreigners and immigrants coming into France. You know, you've got about 9 million of these immigrants that have come into the country in the last, 15, 20 years or so. And when you have this unfettered immigration, these are some of the results of it.
מה שהוא אומר שזה בגלל המהגרים והוא צודק.